In this video, we will be talking about how to solve systems of equations by substitution. So you can see here in your notes, we have two examples that we're going to use to review this. And then if you have further questions, you're more than welcome to reach out to me and I can help you with whatever you might need. So the first step with solving systems by equations is to get one of the equations into either an x equals or a y equals format. So if we just kind of analyze this first example, you'll notice here that our top equation, x equals 8, is already solved for x, and it already has a value. So when we finish solving a system, remember our goal is typically, not always, but typically to get an ordered pair solution. So right now, I automatically know that the ordered pair solution is going to be 8 comma something. I just have to solve for y to find the other piece. So what we're going to do, the actual substitution work, is we're going to take that x of 8 in this case and sub it in for the x in the other equation. So we're going to rewrite this as 2. I like to use parentheses, in this case times 8. And then we finish out the rest of that bottom equation. So plus 3y equals 19. Now, if you take a look at this point, as we scan down the line here, notice that there's only one variable, and in this case, it's y. Typically, when we look at a more complex problem, there would be a y in here as well, but it's important to note that when you do the first substitution step and you rewrite, there's only a single variable. It's not x's and y's in the same equation anymore. So now if we go ahead and solve, we'll make this 16, which we can then subtract to the other side. So we'll have 3y equals 3. And when we divide both sides by 3, we get that y equals 1. So that would make our ordered pair 8 comma 1. I would always recommend that you double check your answer. So if we take 2 times 8, that's 16, plus 3 times 1, that's 3, and 16 plus 3 would give us 19. So that is the solution to the system using the substitution method. So maybe at this point you want to pause the video and try example 2. It's a little bit more complex, but you can follow the same steps. So if you pause the video, the first thing you should have noticed is that our second equation, x equals 2y minus 15, is already solved for x over here. So we're just going to take this 2y minus 15, that expression, and we're going to plug it in. Again, we're solved for x. We're going to plug it in for the x in the top equation. So we'll rewrite that as 3 times the quantity, in this case, 2y minus 15, plus 3y equals, and then 9 to finish out the equation. Now here I do want you to pause the video and solve the remaining equation for y, because again, as we look up and down this equation, there are no variables other than y's. There's no x's in sight. So you're absolutely able to finish solving that for y. Go ahead. Now if you've done this correctly, you would distribute first. Then in this case, we can combine these like terms. So we have 9y. I'm going to add the 45 to the other side of y and make that 54. And then when we divide both sides by 9, we get 6. So right away, I'm going to come up here to the top, and I'm going to write an ordered pair. I know the y coordinate, or the second coordinate, would be 6. Now I just have to find the x coordinate. So I'm going to use the second equation because it's already solved for x. I'll just plug 6 in where the y was. So 2 times 6 minus 15. Well, 2 times 6 is 12. Minus 15 means that our x value is negative 3. And again, I would strongly recommend, now that we have our ordered pair, take this ordered pair, and it must work in both equations. So I would plug it in for x and y in both equations and double check. All right, so that is your quick review on substitution. Go ahead and give the IXL a practice and let me know if you have questions. Good luck.